I'm Van Allen. Welcome to Member Spotlight, where we get an opportunity to take a look at some of the brightest and most successful entrepreneurs in the NEA organization. And today is no exception. I'm here today with Mr. Ray Moulden of Allstate Moulden Agency. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing great today, Van. How about yourself?
Just excellent. Been looking forward to this interview because, you've been in the organization for a minute. But before we get into all that, Ray, and find out a little bit more about you and your business, why don't we take a little time and read your bio so that the listeners can find a little bit, learn a little bit more about what you're all about.
Okay, that sounds great, Van. Thanks.
Okay, Ray. Ray Moulden, owner of Allstate Moulden Agency, earned his license to sell business, auto, home, accident, health, and life insurance from the state of Michigan in 2013. Since becoming a part of the Allstate family, he has been named the top producer for business and personal insurance sales in 2014 through 2018. In March of 2015, Ray was chosen as a featured expert on Fox 2's weekly financial segment, Money Mondays, as a professional advisor on the topic of cutting insurance costs. Moulden learned perseverance and attention to detail from his studies at Osborne High School, computer science at Wayne State University, SCORE CEO training program, and the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. Ray has more than 30 years of combined marketing, sales, and advertising and customer service experience. Previously, he excelled in various management positions for several companies. Ray is on the board of the Michigan chapter of the National Entrepreneurs Association and involved with numerous civic and charity organizations such as Metropolitan YMCA Executive Board Member, Detroit Regional Chamber, Detroit Metro's Visitors Bureau, Southfield Chamber, Jewish Vocational Services, and also serves on the Michigan Board of Governors for MAIPF, appointed by Michigan Director of the Department of Insurance and Financial Services. The Moulden Agency is a nationally certified minority company by the Michigan Minority Supplier Development Council. That's quite an extensive background you got going on there. You've been doing it for a while, obviously.
Well, just tells you I'm not 25 years old, man. You keep living, you're gonna keep doing stuff.
35, maybe. I'll give you 35 then. Okay.
Yeah, you keep living, you keep doing stuff, and hopefully you start adding up receipts. I'm a guy that seeks results. I don't do things for no purpose. At the end there has to be tangible results, and everything that I sought to do, I wanted to win in it. I wanted to be good.
Absolutely. Now, Ray, I was wondering, and I had an opportunity to meet you many years ago. You've been involved in a National Entrepreneur Association. I never had an opportunity to ask you what exactly got you interested in the insurance business, all the way to the point where you actually went out and purchased a building, and now you have your own building located in Southfield, Allstate Insurance. How did you get interested in the insurance industry?
Well, I would have to say divine intervention. I was in the commercial furniture business for about 30 years total with a couple different companies. And I built up a 5-state territory. Well, in commercial furniture, the volume of business was going down. So my territory, I kept expanding my territory to make up for the loss in business.
Okay.
And I had 35 commercial dealers set through 5 states and making the same kind of money. And then, after doing that for a while, I decided, I don't want to be on the road all the time and the airport, moving around. It was fun when it first started, but I needed something that was going to be more home-based.
Gotcha.
And I went to a Detroit Regional Chamber event, a holiday event, and there was a guy there, and he had a little small setup from State Farm, and I kind of looked over at the sign, and it almost had a halo over the sign, and I said, insurance is my answer. It's something that everybody needs, because I built a very large network of people that I knew, but I couldn't sell commercial furniture to them.
Right, right. So you
However, insurance, everybody needs insurance.
absolutely, and that kind of transitions to my next question is, how do you specifically tie in the whole insurance piece as a benefit that entrepreneurs should know about the importance of insurance?
Well, the meaning of insurance is to transfer your risk. Okay. So no matter what you're doing, Van, if you're Joe Blow walking down the street, you want somebody else to take that risk. Okay. So I own a building. What happens if I have a fire and I don't have an insurance? I'm out of business.
Okay.
Right? What happens if a car runs into the building? It's going to cost me a ton of money. It's going to slow my business because I'm not going to be able to occupy the business. So everywhere you turn, what about liability? What about E&O or errors and omissions if we make a mistake on a policy? There was one client, and it happens every once in a while. There's a glitch in the computer where we added vehicles, and it happened to be a $150,000 BMW. And his concern is that his vehicle wasn't covered for 6 months. And I said, no, when you're dealing with one, there's always, the possibility of mistakes, but computers have glitches as well. You were always covered. Allstate authorizes me to write up to $5 million per policy.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to switch gears. We could almost do a whole session, a training session in NEA on, the benefits of having insurance. But I want to jump a little bit more into entrepreneurship, being that you've been a long time entrepreneur and you've been involved with NEA for a lot of years. What being a successful entrepreneur, because you are an entrepreneur that actually has a brick and mortar business. A lot of people are doing business now online on Zoom and what have you. You have a brick and mortar business, so that has a lot of additional responsibility. But can you give me one of your top, I would say, tips that you can recommend or suggest to entrepreneurs that would help them be more successful in their business?
Educate yourself, educate yourself, educate yourself. Okay. Find a mentor. Do an internship. Work for somebody else. Learn the business.
Okay.
One of the mistakes that I made is, I was not from the business. Most people that knows me knows that I'm pretty persistent.
Yes.
So I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to be serious. I'm being devoted into what I do. There's not a day that I come to work. I don't work here. This is my livelihood. This is what I do. This is who I am. Become Absolutely. One with it.
Yeah.
Become one.
And I attest to that. That's one thing since I've known you, you do have a very persistent attitude when it comes to money. Comes to, money too, of course. Was that a Freudian slip or was it intentional? But we talk quite a bit about that because quite often in NEA, the conversation comes up about whether you're an introvert or extrovert business owners, because in NEA, we get people from all walks of life, introvert, extroverts, and I always talk to them about the fact that it's not about whether you're introvert or extrovert, it's about whether you want to be successful at your business. It doesn't matter what you think your personality is or I'm kind of tentative about walking up to people. If you want to be successful,
that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
how hungry are you?
Something that you're not, but learn how to handle your business regardless. Whether you're nervous or not, you have to be able to communicate with people. So that's kind of a perfect segue to your relationship with National Entrepreneur Association. I know you are past president of the Michigan chapter, and you're currently on the board right now, but NEA does a lot to work with entrepreneurs, from boot camps to pitch competitions, monthly meetings. Ray, what would you say is the value of being involved in an organization such as the NEA, where you're around other entrepreneurs and like-minded people?
Being an entrepreneur is a different type of career.
Mhm.
Nobody really understands what you're going through except for other entrepreneurs. It's like people don't hear you. Earlier, I was talking to the city of Southfield planning and building inspections, and I'm having this conversation with them. And it was like, no, you have to abide by the 1970 rule. And I said, that's 50 years old. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. Let's split hairs. Let's, help me navigate that. People, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you don't have your money on the line constantly as I do, you're not going to think as I do. I don't necessarily look at things as dollars and cents, but it has to make sense. It has to get results. Therefore, it has to be profitable.
Right.
You're not going to do anything. It's a hobby if it's not profitable.
Right.
Now, I'm not in this to become a millionaire, what have you. I currently have over 5,000 policies, and I'm one of the largest minority-owned agents in the state of Michigan. But my focus is on helping my community.
Hey, Ray, man, I wish we could go on, but we're kind of out of time. Give people some information on how they can get in contact with you and learn more about your business and insurance.
Well, I'm in Southfield on 12 Mile Road, just west of Greenfield. You can contact my office at 248-691-5530. Again, that's 248-691-5530. I take out ads in the Southfield Sun, I have billboards up, and soon I'll have some commercials on TV too. Okay,
excellent, Ray. I appreciate you being with us on this edition of Member Spotlight. Been looking forward to doing this a while, and I just wanted to commend you while we're here on cameras. Ray is one of our premier members. He's been with the organization for a number of years, very supportive, has helped bring in members, bring in key people into the organization. And not only that, he puts his money where his mouth is quite often. He'll just call up and say, hey, I want to sponsor something. How much is that going to cost? 200, 300, boom, here's the check. And, that shows a lot of support and dedication. And, we appreciate, everything that you've done to support the organization. And once again, I'd like to say thanks, brother, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate the organization supporting me. So thank you.
All right.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Van Allen here. Thanks for joining us. Visit us at nationalentrepreneurs.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.